Hey, what's up, everybody? Thank you so much for joining us this morning on In Your Fields with the Young. It's Friday, and we're going to have a good time, man. Thank you so much. Before we continue, please just press that subscribe button. Share it, like it, share it with friends and family. This is a show where very informative show. You'll know everything about sport and music and the arts. And thank you so much for tuning in. We've got a bumper show this morning. It's a two-part show, so we'll have one this week, and next week we will continue with this. The show that we and the topic that we're discussing today. We're discussing the topic of sport conditioning, and we've got an interesting guest in the studio, which we will introduce later. But Jay, how have you been doing?
What's Gucci? Unk, what's up? It's Friday. I'm excited. I'm happy. It's a beautiful day. My favorite artist dropped the album today.
Who's
Guess
this?
who? Come on, my favorite artist.
Justin Bieber.
Justin Bieber. It's called Justice, and
Justice.
Justice. It's called Justice, and
Justice.
It's a beautiful album. And
When was his last album, Jay?
his last album was last year. Changes. Yeah,
Changes.
that was in 2020. Changes.
And
the one before that was Purpose.
How was it doing on the charts?
Bieber always tops the charts.
Okay.
This is Bieber we're speaking about.
Bieber.
This is Bieber.
So which song was topping the charts of the last album?
Of the last album, Change. I think it was Changes. No, Yummy was on.
Oh,
Intentions.
I know that one.
Intentions
Okay.
was on
Yummy.
with Quavo.
Yeah, that one I know.
Yummy. Intentions were on with
Good.
Quavo. So yeah, I'm looking to see what this project
So
unfolds.
he's dropping an album today.
Dropped already.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
dropped. I'm excited.
Downloaded it, Jay.
Of course, downloaded already. Yeah. Bieber Friday.
So we're suffering today because in the office, you just gonna play that the whole
it's
day. bro.
Bieber Friday, Bieber weekend, long
People
weekend.
weekend. Thank you so much, man. Everybody. We've got a guest in the studio this morning. He is the coach of Breakthrough Academy. It is Coach Leroy. Leroy is with us in the studio.
Morning,
and
guys.
how you doing, man? Just closer to the mic, man. Thanks.
I'm well this morning. Hey, I was just telling the guys, I think this place has a spell on me. The last time I came here, I was employed. Today, I'm unemployed. I can't wait to see what's happening next.
What's next?
The next will be you'll be employed again.
You'll be employed.
Let's hope so.
Yeah.
Justice for Paris.
Justice
Come on.
for Paris.
Come on.
Justice for Paris. Come on. Yeah, no, we're going to have a good show. We're going to speak all about sport conditioning and how does athletes prepare themselves physically, mentally, socially. How do they prepare themselves to be at the top of their game and to do the best that they can? This week we have Coach Leroy. We know him as Smiley, Coach Smiley in the studio. Next week we'll have a sports psychologist as well as a biokineticist in the studio, and they're going to give us they're going to break it down. So we're just going to introduce the subject to you, and you can go do some research during this week. Next week you'll get all the facts. How do you condition yourself being a sportsman? So, Coach, here's a player or a sports person that wants to excel in their sport, whatever sport it should be or could be. And how do they prepare themselves just lightly from a young age type of, how do they prepare themselves?
Well, fundamentally, it's important that the player needs to be technically and tactically developed.
Right.
That's what you need in order to be a good football player.
Okay.
However, it will not allow you to it's not all the development needed for you to reach your full potential as a player.
Right.
So there's body conditioning,
Yes.
which obviously goes with the physicality, developing the resistance training, strength, speed, coordination,
Yeah.
those type of things. Then you have mental conditioning, developing with the psychology of the game.
Okay.
When a player is down, how to get back to his best. When he's out of form, how to develop the confidence of the player.
Right.
Then you have the social conditioning. How does the player understand his role in a team?
Okay.
You understand? So
Right.
he knows it's not an individual, and most people are taught to be individuals from where they come from. So
Right.
they struggle to adapt as a team player and to still, excel as an individual within a team.
Okay, so all those dynamics.
All those
So what
dynamics.
we're gonna discuss basically this morning is, we're gonna take from your experiences that you've had as a coach and so forth all these years, and as a player, professional football player, and then we're going to discuss all those little dynamics. We won't go into detail as we say. We're gonna touch light here and there and so forth. But I want to ask the coach, with warm ups, what is his favorite one, Jay? With the warm up.
The warm up.
Yeah.
The warm ups.
Yes.
Am I the coach?
No. He's the coach. As the coach.
So, coach, yeah, this is the warm up segment. It's a bit of a tricky question to ask because you were saying you're unemployed now, but we'll go back to the employment days when you were there, and we know that it will get there again. But what do you do before a game with the players, probably also yourself as well, before a game, just to get the players ready for?
Okay, first we have a pre-match meal.
Right. Okay. That's important.
That's very important. I can't expect someone to perform at their best on a hungry stomach.
So how do you eat? What do you eat?
We normally we prefer pasta
Right.
with some fruits. After your pasta, 100% juice. What we'll do after that, we'll have a team talk.
So you don't go and eat a bani before you're gonna play, no?
No, that happens.
Mutton bani.
Those happens in Donny's days.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Chiefs,
There's
under
a-
10s and under 12s. Yeah, they used to do that.
Okay. Right. Cool. So you say pre-match meal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
that's
what's the times though?
it has to at least be 3 hours before the match. 3
Okay.
to 2 hours, depends.
All right.
You
I'll
understand?
get hungry.
You think you get hungry?
Yo, me, food.
You have to have some sort of appetite for the match.
Yeah. Come on.
Come on now. Come on now.
Yeah.
Come on.
You have to have some
Yes.
sort, if you want to win.
Yeah. And then after the
So,
pre-match.
Yeah,
meal.
after the pre-match, what we do is we normally have a team talk. We will now analyze our different roles for the game, our game plan. Also, work a bit on the opposition, the strengths, and then obviously try to encourage the guys to perform to the best of their ability.
Yeah.
Preparing that, then knowing and allowing them to believe that they have the confidence because they prepared well.
Right.
We're not here by chance, so whatever we go out there and we do, let it do it to the best of our ability because we sacrificed, let's say, 15, 16 hours? And it won't be a good sacrifice if we're going to end up with no points.
Right.
So let's make our sacrifices all worth it in the end by getting the 3 points.
And then go into the warm-up.
Into the warm-up, we do a 3-phase warm-up.
Okay, 3-phase warm-up, right?
Yeah.
Which would be?
We'll start with, just loosen the muscles. Like, normally people go in twos, they jog, do some dynamic stretching. After dynamic stretching, now we'll increase the intensity a bit where we do a bit of speed, just to up the heart rate. And then we do a bit of match situations where we now do some finishing, game situations, and then we'll end it off just before we get into the game, coming out of the cloakroom, into the game, we just up the intensity again, and then we ready to perform.
Okay.
In the midst of all of this, are sports drinks allowed, like your Red Bulls?
Very
Because
important.
I've seen.
Preferably you want to take your energy drink at least, not necessarily Red Bull,
But your energy drink.
aids
Yeah.
and your power aids. You want to take it at least 20 minutes before you start your warm up, so it can kick in at least 10-15 minutes into your match.
Okay.
You understand? So if I give it to you at halftime, it kicks in after the match. So
Yeah.
that's why players are partying all night.
Coach, just that process with warming up, because you warm up and then you go and change, right?
Yes.
Do you stay warm in the midst of that process?
You have to.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand where do I not stay warm?
Because you warm up, now you go into the changing room, you change, the players do their hair and all of that.
The time management is very important. You don't want to go back into the change room and spend more than 5 minutes. So that's why also it's important that before we go back onto the field, we do just 5 speed exercises, different bursts of speed, and then you go into the match. But you never drop your heart rate. We don't allow your heart rate to drop below a certain percent. You
Okay.
understand? So we can always be there, because in the game you're not at that intensity all the time. There's moments where you walk.
Yes.
There's
Yeah.
moments where you recover. There's a halftime break. All those things, water breaks. Yeah. So that's what we do before we go into a match.
Okay, beautiful.
Yeah.
I think that explains it, Jay.
No,
I think
most
that
def.
explains it. So we're moving into the conditioning of a player. as you said, you start from a very young age. You have to be technical and tactical aware and astute as well, for the different sporting codes that person wants to go in. Is it different for different sporting codes to condition a person, an athlete?
Well, the sports might differ. Sometimes you might not need to be socially inclined in a tennis game as much as you need to be in a football team.
Okay.
You understand? But the principle that allows your physicality to perform to the best of its ability remains the same.
Okay.
So that's why it's sportsman.
Right.
You know, the principles require covers all sports.
Right.
Doesn't matter whether it be football, whether it be rugby, whether it be cricket. You still need to be at the best of your ability in terms of conditioning your physicality, your mentality to be the best sportsman that you can be.
At what age do you think that you can really start, developing your body to achieve beast mode? Because I've heard something that before 13 you just naturally fit.
No, you are.
You don't need to train. You don't need to do. You just fit.
Are you? Yeah.
Yeah.
And those boys that's sitting the whole day in front of the PlayStation.
Maybe Justice can or Paris can answer that one for you. But,
Jay.
Now I know before 13 you naturally fit.
Okay.
I see some fat kids that can run.
no, true.
Okay.
So regardless of sitting in
At
front
that
of the
age,
So you don't say
age,
obese. You just fat kids. Just.
obese.
Oh, okay. No. Okay. Cool. No. Fine, Jay. Okay. So you say so when do you start now developing yourself?
Well, everyone, it differs probably from coach to coach or philosophy or structure to structure,
Yeah.
club to club. But I was at the conference one Beyond Sport. We had people from London, the Chelsea Academy people, West Ham, and I had a discussion with one of them, and they said they started resistance training at the age of 9 or 8
Sure.
already. But it could be possible because he could be doing body resistance
Okay.
and not yet weight resistance.
All right.
You understand?
Okay.
So we also have to understand the psychology is that the formidable years of conditioning is birth to 12
That's your formidable years of conditioning.
of conditioning.
Okay.
In fact, an individual can learn between the ages of 1 and 5 4 languages. In fact, he can learn 4 languages quicker than what he can learn 1 language between 12 and 18.
And okay. So development 1 to 12 you say.
Yes, development 1 to 12, which means
Formidable.
I have to now remember what you do for the first 12 years of the life. You do for 90% for the rest of your life. So as a footballer, what I put in you in the first 12 years is so important because it makes a difference between you becoming a world-class athlete and just a normal average player that does not reach his full potential.
Are there late beginners
They are.
that are successful?
They are.
Okay.
You have to disabuse. You're never too old. I mean, there's how many players that got professional contract at the age of 29. Others got at 30. I think Drogba is one of them. There's so many things that happened at a later stage, but obviously, I won't write it off, but I don't think that player could have reached his full potential.
I hear you.
You understand? So maybe if he had done the things that got him to where he was at 29 earlier on,
Yes.
he would have reached his full potential as a player. Yeah. that's
Earlier.
what I can say. Earlier.
Okay. Cool. So we saying that you were in this conference, but I remember you done a trip over to Europe, and you visited Netherlands, Belgium, as well as Germany. And how were they conditioning their players at a young age?
No, I mean, there's one thing that stood out for me in Holland.
Right.
In Holland, I mean, the first thing I noticed when I got there that the under 12s were playing. I came and I asked the score because we came about 10-15 minutes late, and I came and I asked the score, and the coach told me no, they don't keep score. Like, they just play.
Okay.
Like, no one wins and no one loses.
Wow.
You understand? So I never understood, but anyway, so you get. I know the psychology to that part.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is that they only believe in playing 9v9s
All right.
or 8v8s.
Right.
To work on the technical abilities of the player. But what also stood out for me after one of the sessions that we had, everyone, including the players and the parents, went into some type of hall.
Yeah.
And then the coach was there, and we had the discussion on, where the coach would stand in front and, pose some questions, not necessarily just about football, but about anything in life, and, would allow the players to come to the front to get used to speaking in front of people.
Sure.
And the parents are there. That's part of the training session. And what they discuss the training sessions, parents can get involved and ask 1 or 2 questions, so everyone is on the same page. So that's how, they avoid politics and nepotism and all those type of things that influences, us not getting the best results. So we're not even close to that.
So on that, can you maybe just elaborate a little bit on that, because I'm getting now there's a mental aspect to it, there's a social aspect to it, and there's a physical aspect to it, right? On conditioning. So maybe just to elaborate on those 3 for now.
You said the mental, physical, and social.
And social, yeah.
Okay, well, Pastor. Oh, sorry. Yes, can't we cancel the show? Just start all over again, please.
Go ahead.
I'll tell you why I mentioned that anyway.
Yeah.
Right. So my philosophy is this: that I'll tell you where it comes from. We played the 4 Nations the week before I got fired.
Right.
Yeah. So it's a week before I was actually on the show.
So you were coaching for La Masia.
I was the coach of La Masia at the time, and so you remember we played the 4 Nations. It was La Masia, Highlands Park, Gomora, formerly known as Baberwa, and then Leruma, which is obviously now managed by the guys of Maccabi.
Okay.
So it was really a competitive. In fact, I would love to believe that those are the 4 favorites
Right.
going into the ABC Motsepe season.
Okay.
So yeah, we had a tournament there, and then most of the guys, after everything, most of the coaches from the opposition asked me a question, and they said, no, all you do is, you guys, your team is just running. And they just said, no, that all we do at training is run.
Why do they say so? Because they fit.
The guys were so fit, and they were just running in the field. And it amazed me, because at training, all the players are asking me, Coach, can we please run?
Right.
So, I don't know, maybe Bieber could make a song about that, and it will stay on top of the charts forever.
Facts.
So they couldn't understand. Their philosophy is, they think you just running every day at training.
They're just thinking that all I do is run, fire around a mountain and all those things. No, man, it amazed me that, because I really started to believe that I might be training an unfit team. But we ended up winning that tournament convincingly. At no moment in any of those 2 matches did we ever. At any minute we could raise the tempo.
Right.
Yeah.
We were forever in control of both matches, physically, and tactically.
Okay.
And I don't understand. So my philosophy is, because someone asked me this before you did, one of the coaches from the opposition. So I told him, it's important that we develop the player tactically and technically. We do understand that, right? But the mentality of the player is so important, because you want to develop a winner.
Yes.
There's so much challenges in winning. There's so much challenges just in competing to start. You understand?
Yeah.
And you might have a talented player that could do real damage sitting on the bench, because mentally he's not where he needs to be. And you might choose the player that's least talented because he's mentally prepared. You understand? So if you can't recognize those moments as a coach, you might miss out on, changing your season around.
Sure.
Because remember, I came into this team and they were number 14.
Yeah, last season.
Yeah, I think it was 8 games, so it's 2, they were in relegation zone. And me having to come into this team, and my first 5 fixtures were, 3 of them were in the top 5. So you can imagine coming into a camp where there's no winning mentality, the moral is down, the facilities, just you cannot imagine. And you go on and you end number 5 with 7 games to go.
Yes.
So in fact, in the period that I was there, after games 8 up until the last game, which was 23, because there were 7 left, we were, I think, joint number 1 with Pretoria Kellys. We ended up winning the log. So my philosophy in terms of how I get players to perform to the best of their ability is simple. Like, I do the mental coaching, right? And everyone has their beliefs, and everyone has their faith. Faith is a very important factor in my philosophy. As for me, the greatest person that ever lived was Jesus.
Come on.
Yes.
That's my philosophy. To others, it would be Muhammad, and to others, it would be, and we respect that. But and obviously, in the Bible, it also says it describes the events about my hero.
Yeah.
Where it says that he grew in stature,
Yes.
he grew in wisdom.
Yes.
In fact, he grew in stature, he grew in favor with God, he grew in favor with men, and he grew in wisdom.
In wisdom.
Right. So, I mean, if you think about it, that was all essential for his purpose. Because I asked myself, and this is how I approach my coaching, I asked myself that imagine having to carry a cross 3 times your body weight after having lost so many blood. Like imagine the physical conditioning Christ had to be in for him to fulfill his purpose. You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And because he was in favor with men, when he dropped the cross, someone picked him up, not because they felt him sorry, because of his favor he had gained with people. That showed that compassion, to have that courage to actually pick up that cross. You understand? And then the mental strength to imagine being gripped with fear so much that you ask to take this cup of suffering away, yet let your will not be done. And not imagine the mental strength you need to go against your own will.
Yes.
You understand?
Makes a lot of sense.
And that's the one thing, maybe the only thing
I think maybe the Lord's leading you into preaching.
The preaching coach.
The preaching coach.
No, the preaching coach. But what I'm trying to say is that's my philosophy, guys. So it was essential for him to fulfill his purpose.
Yes.
You understand? And it's essential for us to follow that same pattern.
True.
You understand? Yes, we need to be physically prepared. Christ needed to be physically prepared for what he did on his journey, and so do you.
So you're not saying it's not just a physical thing. It's not just having the 6-pack and having the legs like
Lester,
Thunder, Jericho Sana, type of.
You two now down in a match.
Yeah.
You've been matched physically. You've been the better team.
Right, but you're down.
But you're down 2-0. You've created the most chances. In fact, the goal that you scored is the own goal.
Right. Yeah.
And the second one you conceded is a penalty.
Right.
And you come into the match and it's a must-win situation. It could determine the difference between being champions and being runners-up.
3-0 down Istanbul.
Where is Jay going to now?
Jay is going to Paris. Jay is going to Paris.
Yeah, he's going to Paris. Jay is going to Paris. So yeah, you on that note.
But what he says is, it's true. Like, Liverpool was 3-0 down Istanbul.
Yes.
You understand? Physically, you needed to be where you needed to be, but imagine the mental strength that you needed to have to believe that you can come back and win against a team that dominated the first half and that was currently dominating and remember, you never did well in your domestic season.
Yeah.
You never did well. So there's nothing that you can go back to get or gain some courage. It was all about the individual. And if one person can believe it, and he has the social development that's needed, he can be influential to someone else, and that someone else can be influential to someone else. And that's where the social part of your development comes into how to bring out the best in your teammate, how to trust your I need to trust my teammate, Jay.
Exactly.
You can't be speaking and going and doing the camera work. You need to trust whoever's doing the camera work.
Yes.
So I need to trust my teammate. And once the teammate senses that this person trusts me, I will protect that. And I will do everything to maintain and sustain that trust. You understand? So that's how you come back from situations where ability cannot rescue you from.
Yeah, so it's not just all ability and technical, the technical aspect.
If you look at the Dutch, remember I told you that their criteria for selecting new people or new players is TIPS.
Yes.
You
Tips.
understand?
Yeah.
Tips. And it's also in, like, that's how I do my things. That's how I build a team. Like, I look at the technique of which we spoke about, the technical and tactical development of the player. We look at the imagination of the player,
Yeah.
right? We look at, that's obviously the mentality of the player, the way he reasons, you know. We look at the personality of the player, how he is ready to interact socially, how he's ready to develop and grow, not only in terms of a player, but as a person. And then you look at the speed, which comes down to your conditioning, your body conditioning. You understand? So the conditioning of your speed, the conditioning of your personality, the conditioning of your imagination, and the conditioning of your technique is important. And so obviously, when the guys come in, they will deal more directly with, or specifically with the body
Yeah.
conditioning
Yeah.
and the psychological conditioning. Psychological conditioning, yeah.
So from a community perspective, I would love always to come from a community perspective, where you don't have all these things in place and so forth. What's the best for someone to do that finds themselves at the local LFA? How do you channel that conditioning?
Well, you know, it's very difficult. You have to, as parents, be involved. That's the first part
Okay.
of sports
Okay.
psychology. You have to be
Okay.
involved. Most of the parents doesn't even know the name of the coach that the boy is playing for. They don't have a relationship. They don't know. They can't evaluate the progress of the boy.
Yes.
You understand? So there's already no mental support.
Okay.
And then he comes into a setup where there's so many people that has that support, and they're not very nice about certain things at the club, because there's a lot of politics. You know, there's groups. You need to identify which people are for me, which people are going to help me progress. Coming into a team, I mean, you know, everywhere you go, in every building, there's the smokers get the smokers, the rappers get the rappers.
JJ, come on.
Come on.
Yeah, Jake beats his people. You understand?
Yes.
So they always tend to find one another.
So you say it's difficult. There should be parent involvement.
Because of a lack of infrastructure, parents need to be more involved. We need to overcompensate in areas where we lack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You understand?
Okay.
Where there's no excuse for anyone not reaching their full potential, though.
Exactly.
You understand? That's people that has never been
But
developed.
that takes a lot of self-motivation, mental strength.
mental conditioning.
Yeah, we're gonna come back to an experience that you had in Europe. Just talking about the mental strength.
Okay.
So remember that. We'll come back to that. But first, we're going into your segment, Jay. What's that segment?
So this segment is called, what's this segment called? Drink the Dirt.
No, man. The segment is dry jokes.
Nah, based on obviously what's on the table. I mean,
Yeah.
drinking these things are like for Friday morning.
bro.
You really have to be
mentally strong. Yes.
You really have to
You have to be, bro.
mentally strong. So dry jokes, obviously, we gonna verse each other.
Yes.
Three of
I
us.
don't know how this works. Yeah, we're versing each other.
We're all versing each other.
Swanaties up, twanaties.
So you are basically gonna say it to each other.
Okay.
No laughing, no smiling. Not
So when
even
I say the joke,
Yes.
it's to both of them.
both of them.
Okay. When he says the joke,
both.
it's to both.
Yeah.
Cool.
Whoever laughs or
Yeah.
smiles
Must
first
drink.
Must
and
drink.
It's one shot, eh? One shot.
No
One
sipping.
shot. No sipping.
No sipping.
Yeah.
I'm allergic to.
So no laughing, no smiling.
No laughing, no smiling. Not even a reaction from your face.
Even if your name is Smiley, no
So
So how would you
smiling.
know the difference? When I'm serious and when I'm laughing.
Can I see?
That's my serious face.
There we go.
Okay, do I start?
Yeah, go ahead. Just hold on.
Okay.
Okay, we start. Here we go. What's brown and sticky?
Try to answer it.
Try to answer it, guys.
Oh, what?
What's brown and sticky?
Sweet.
A stick.
I said a stick.
You said a sweet, didn't you?
Did I say it?
You said a sweet.
Prove it.
Just replay. VAR.
He laughed.
They laughed.
He laughed.
Oh my word.
Thank you. Can you please have a shot there
Let's go. We'll start on your left hand side. Smile.
on your left hand side? Left hand side.
Hey.
Oh man, I got
One
1
shot
point.
1 point.
One shot. 1 point to the young.
Is that countdown?
No, go for it.
That's vinegar. What does that taste like?
Don't give me a
Let's go, Jay.
Oh, me.
Tastes
okay.
like justice.
Tastes like justice. Y'all ready?
Yes.
Okay. How does Moses make his coffee?
How does Moses make his coffee? Yes, I don't know.
No, I don't know. It's Justin Bieber.
He brews it.
Hebrews.
see
I get
a
it.
smile on Jack's
I get it.
face.
Yeah, you smiled.
I
No,
get
I'm
it.
saying he brews it.
But you smiled.
Did he smile?
We captured it. Jay,
He didn't smile.
I didn't smile. I'm saying he brews it.
Yeah.
he did smile. I saw it.
But that's a smile.
Where? That, look at that.
That's a smile. I'm talking.
No.
Nah, that one's done. That one's done. That one's done, bro. So
Okay, go next.
Yeah, you next.
Okay. What do sprinters eat before a race?
What do sprinters eat before a race? Rice.
But let us tell him the answer.
Nothing, they fast.
Ah, that's a good one.
They're quick.
That's a good one.
Tracy?
Jay, you have to drink, bro.
Chase, so I got 1 point. I
Yo,
got
coach,
one.
I'm gonna be honest. You just have this vibe that even before the joke.
Go for it, Jay.
Take the one.
Go for it, Jay.
Just go for it, Joe.
Yo, 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 yo.
But I don't want to laugh. Let's also go.
No, he's drinking. The joke's done.
Oh, the joke's that. So I can.
Yo.
It's actually not bad.
Yeah,
not bad.
It's called an accent drink.
Good, man. Good.
Let's go on.
So
Yes, this is my one.
Yeah.
Why was the coach yelling at a vending machine?
because it's vending out.
He wanted his quarterback. You smiling. That's my. Jay,
I'm trying my best.
Jay, you in minus, my bro. You must minus his points also.
No, he can have of mine. He can have of mine.
Nah, I'm losing today, coach.
Okay, it's my turn.
It's Jay's turn.
Anyone.
It's Jay.
No.
But
It's Jay now.
It's Jay again.
Did you, Jack?
Drink, bruh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Jack.
Drink it. Jay.
Jay's about it.
Yeah,
You go,
are
Jay.
a whole vibe. You are a whole vibe, bro. You a whole vibe, bro. bro, you a whole vibe, yeah? Yeah, just
You
come
a
on.
whole
Yeah,
vibe.
you gotta feel it, bro.
Go, Jay.
Okay. How does a penguin build its house?
Happy.
He glues it together.
Drink, bruh. Drink. Drink again.
Minus another point.
Drink.
So who gets that point? Who gets that point?
No, none of you get that.
No. He
Yo,
gets
I
minus.
don't know why
He get
I'm in
minus.
a laughing spirit today, bro.
Go, bro. Drink.
Yo,
Let's blame it on Justin.
Yes, blame it on Justy.
jeez.
Justy. Go, Jay.
J and J.
J and J.
Triple J.
Triple J. I and J.
Justice for J.
Justice
and Justin.
for J and Justin. Yes.
The trinities of Trinity. This is a whole being, guys. This is like a whole being. He's a complete person. Today is a complete person.
Swallow, bro. J. Justice for J and Justin.
Got a tie.
He's got a jet neck now.
He has to go.
The uncle smiley.
Yeah, but he has to go.
Now let
He's got a round to go
I'm
now.
out. Let them play.
Yeah, you
Okay.
are Jay.
Did you hear about the restaurant on the moon?
Nope.
Great food, no atmosphere.
That's actually a good one.
It is.
That's actually a good one.
It's better than good. It's great.
He's got the good jokes.
It has a J star on it.
I didn't laugh though. And I didn't smile.
You
But it's a
didn't
good
laugh.
one.
It is.
We still on a tie.
We're still on the tie. So, sudden death.
Okay.
Penalties.
Okay.
And you must have the black one.
Can I?
No,
Okay.
You want to do your own joke?
No.
Do your own joke.
No, it's not a joke. I just want to ask him a question that will make him smile.
Okay. Let me go.
I'm ready.
Yeah. Okay. Why do vampires seem sick? They always coughing.
It's alright. I'm not gonna waste time because I'm not gonna laugh, so I'm just gonna go into mine.
Okay, wow.
Go over to yours.
Yeah. Why did the Invisible Man turn down the job offer?
Because they could see him.
He couldn't see himself doing it.
He couldn't see himself doing it.
Imagine. Like he literally couldn't see himself doing it. No matter what he does, there's no reflection to show that he's there. So it's actually end up doing nothing. So we never achieved our goals.
Wow. Wow.
It's like Jay.
It's like Jay.
It's
Yeah.
like Jay. Jay did nothing
Jay did nothing, it's true.
but laugh.
But laugh. Okay.
Let's do the last one.
To whoever stole my copy of Microsoft Office,
Mm.
I will find you. You have my word.
Google.
No, you have my word. This guy is smiling.
Where am I smiling? You are
This guy,
smiling.
you're not watching him.
No, okay.
He's smiling.
Was he smiling?
Be honest. No, be honest now.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, that one was for Donnie.
Yeah. It's a Mac joke, not a coaching joke.
Yes.
Want to hear a joke about construction?
Go ahead.
Still working on it.
Okay, cool.
Think about it.
I'll think about it after the show.
Okay. You're not bad, Lester.
Nah, I'm not doing.
That's a tie, guys. What can we do?
That's a tie, man. Jay, you out of it, bro.
Five.
Jay was never conditioned for the
minus
show.
one.
Jay was not conditioned
He
for the
wasn't
show.
good. He was
Yeah,
conditioned
no.
for a live concert now, but not for the show.
Yeah, not true. Not true. So, coach, we're talking about we're coming back to the mental conditioning. Just take us through a journey. You put together a trip that you took some of the youngsters through to Europe, where they experienced for the first time Germany. They played in Germany. They played in Netherlands, and they played in Belgium, right? So take us through that trip and how it came to the point where you had to rely on your mental strength.
Well, I will obviously just try to rush through it. So it all started with a phone call. I always just knew that, one day I want to take boys overseas. And then I got a phone call one day. A guy asked me, "Are you interested in a trip
Right.
to Holland?" And I'm like, "Of course I am." So it's like, he got an invite and we should be there within 2 months.
Okay.
Now, I had to make a decision there. I had to say no, time is too short, or I had to say yes and pull off one of the biggest miracles
Yeah.
in Haldos.
You can smile now, Jay.
Yeah, you
It's
can
the
smile.
jokes
No,
are
but-
done.
No,
The
you
jo-
can't
the-
smile.
yeah,
You
the
can't
jokes are
smile. I
done.
still have, and one more slap, Jay.
Yeah.
You better
Nah,
behave.
you
You
try
better
it out.
behave.
The,
Yeah,
the,
so-
the black one isn't that bad though.
Yeah, we won't.
Okay.
No, we never went that far.
We never went that far. Yeah, true. Let's go, coach.
Yeah, so I decided to say yes, and the first thing I called a friend and I said, "You know what, Lester? There's a trip coming up and we're going."
Right.
We didn't know how. There was no finances. We needed, never mind, no finances. There was no passports, and there was no players.
So they just gave you the opportunity, but not.
Yeah.
Nothing else. We had to make this happen. It's like I'm telling you now, Jay, you're gonna make it. That's all. They told us. You understand? We went on and we started the process, and I just told Lester, this is the guys I'm gonna take. Took them, so just to get the passport. Like that's how far back in development we are. Players in Europe at the age of 10, they have their passports already.
Yeah.
That it's a prerequisite for them. So I had to make sure that players get the passports. Now the parents are not together, so both parents has to sign for the passport.
So we're talking community players where we are at. This is reality.
Yeah, this is community. Yeah. This is place that has not been developed. So look at the work. Like I could have just given up there, and I walked in. I ran into Maponya Mall's Home Affairs right through to the back.
Yeah.
They wanted to stop me, and I said, "No, I'm here. I have to do something. There's an emergency." They let me through. I spoke to the lady. She helped us. In fact, she helped. She was more than nice.
Yeah.
Within 3 days, everyone ended up getting their passports.
True.
That was the first step. Second step is now we have to go apply for a visa.
Yeah.
But we don't even
Embassy.
we don't even have the finances for the plane tickets. And if you travel, you need to make sure that you have the ticket before you apply.
Yeah.
Or you need to you have to get the visa before you apply. Buy the plane ticket. We did it vice versa.
You first have to get your itinerary plane ticket bought. That you must take to your visa application.
That's correct. Yeah. And we got there. Another challenge, and they asked me. I needed to hand it in my application form, and there was nothing to hand in but just the questions that they asked me on the form. They asked me, "Where's my proof of address?" I said, "I don't have."
Right.
And I'm the leader.
Yeah.
So you can imagine, and then the player, everyone around it started doubting, and they asked me, "Where's my bank statement?" And I said, "I don't have."
Right.
Drink.
You understand? So we went on, and then it normally, and the lady I gave the application form into told me that I'm wasting my time, and here's everyone else around me sorted out. I think my application form was like this like it had this exact jokes on it as well. No, I'm joking. But it was just thick. It was just thick, and like everyone else is on like this,
Yeah.
And that lady told me I'm crazy that they're not gonna even look at this. And on my way home, I get an SMS saying passport ready, visa ready for collection.
Yeah.
So first thing that comes to my mind is, of course it's declined. There's no way, because it takes 3 days for you to get it. So I'm at home and I'm like, Jess, please take me in tomorrow. I know I'm gonna pick up bad news. And when I got there, it was approved. Not even 24 hours.
Come on now.
You understand?
Yeah.
So that was like, you think that is it, that is gonna make this trip work.
Yeah.
Right?
So
like
there's a sign right there.
Let's go.
Yeah.
And there can't be anything more harder than this. Mm-hmm. And we go and we continue, and now we have to struggle to get the finances,
the funds,
to make this trip possible. You won't believe me. We booked 8 tickets. We had to leave the Tuesday, né?
Yeah.
We had to leave the Tuesday, but we booked 8 tickets, so we're short of 2 tickets. Monday afternoon, I got a call. You know what? You have to leave those 2 boys. We already applied for their visa. They made all the mental preparations.
Yeah.
And it's 2 boys that has never ever been at the airport.
At the airport, not.
Never mind.
Never mind
traveling.
flying. Yeah.
Yeah, you understand. So I was like, I can't. And I'm pushing and I'm pushing, and I don't know if you know Appieberg, Joe. you would know it like
Appieberg.
Yeah, it's Appieberg.
It's Appieberg.
Yeah, but it's Appieberg.
Appieberg.
Yeah, it used to be Appieberg.
Appieberg.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm on there and I'm praying and I'm just like, please just give me a sign. And we got a call like I think past 9 to 10.
The evening.
We're flying out the Tuesday, 7 o'clock. The evening.
Yeah.
We short 2 tickets. But now that's not the only challenge. The challenge is that these 2 boys are minors. So they have to get on the same flight as, otherwise we need to book an extra ticket for someone to supervise them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You understand? So imagine all that. And then we were like, push, and eventually we ended up getting the money. Like 2 hours before midnight. On our way to trade route, depositing the things where it needs to be into credit cards so we can, purchase the tickets. So we come back from trade route in this exact same office. Talk about coincidence.
Mm.
We sat here up until morning hours trying to get these people on the line. And the head office, I think, we're in India,
India,
right?
yeah.
Coincidentally, who also approached me in the week for a short stint job. It's funny how things work out, right? And then we eventually got them on the same flight. I think at even less than what we paid for.
Yeah.
On the same flight. So now there's no holding back.
So
Yeah.
the flight is an issue already. Here you go, you travel.
But can you imagine
Yeah.
this? This is me speaking. Can you imagine what's happening in the mind of the players?
Yes.
The day before, they're not even sure if they're going.
Mm.
Like, can you say I need to be... okay, so we go on, and here we go, and we get to the airport, and then...
You get to Schiphol Airport in Amsterdam.
Never mind that airport. Let's start with Tambo. We need to certify all the documents, of which we did not, and we are an hour late already.
Right. Skip all that. You get to Schiphol Airport.
We get
Yeah.
Not even Schiphol. We're from Dubai
Yeah.
to Schiphol.
Right.
Mid-air. I'm getting ready for the time of my life. And then they give me another
Low blow.
Low blow. Like the guy that's with me comes to me and is like, I think we were just crossing over Germany at that time. I could see the flag, like, down there. And it's like, and it's like, you know what? The guy's not answering.
He's not getting back to you.
There's no one to pick us up at the airport.
Whoa.
So you imagine, I'm looking down.
Whoa.
When he's saying this, I'm looking down and I'm seeing the German flag and I'm like, is Hitler really dead? Is Hitler really dead? And I'm thinking that we're being hijacked here. This is like, can you believe? Like the Germans, like, okay, let's push through this. But I had to break through that and the fact that this guy just told me that now. I'm like, I'm looking at him and I want to cry. And I'm hungry and I'm exhausted and I'm sitting flat. And the cabin crew members looks at me and like, it's fine, you can sit. And then we get there.
You get to Amsterdam, Schiphol
Into the
Airport, Netherlands. Yeah.
So so I have the address in my hand, and I go to the cashier lady, and I asked her just to direct me as to how do I get to this address. She looks at it, and she's like, "My dear, is the Boeketlekker is Belgium. Belgium. This is the wrong address. You're supposed to be in Belgium."
You in Amsterdam.
I'm in Amsterdam.
You
So-
need to be in
my
Belgium.
word.
So you can imagine, imagine that now. Imagine what the players are thinking now.
Yeah.
That,
Wat gaan
like,
nou?
what's happening? What's going on here? Okay, anyway, and I'm like, so now, how do I get to this? No, you can take a super train. Okay, we eventually ended up taking a super train with its own challenges. Will I bypass that?
Yeah.
Because for the lack of time, and here we are on the airport, on the train, and we get to Belgium eventually. Once we're in Belgium, we still can't get hold of this guy.
Of
So
The-
now
the-
we're
your
in
host.
Belgium.
Yeah.
the guy that initially
host,
obviously
We're in the
called.
middle of nowhere, and we can't get hold of this guy, and it's starting to get dark.
And you here with 10 players.
10 players that's all looking at me, including the guy that organized the trip. He's also looking at me.
Right. So you go.
So I'm wandering around like you can't bring us this far. I'm like that's where I gain a lot of my strength and my advantage over other opposition coaches. It's like I believe in that, that higher power.
Monster mentality.
There's just something somewhere out there. Okay, and here we go. And I ended up in a tavern or a sports bar type of thing, and just started speaking to random people. And eventually, we don't even have a phone. We don't even have a world card. We can't make connection. We can't contact anyone. Not home or there. So eventually, I was led to someone that knows this guy. But now, I'm excited because we're in Belgium. But now this guy gets hold of this guy, and this guy tells him that he's not in Belgium, he's in Germany. Can you stop it already, please?
So he's in Germany. You in Belgium.
So can you stop it already?
But your mindset is, yes.
It's far apart.
When is this guy gonna come here?
Yeah, so
Germany?
geography is also important in your development. So you can know the distance between Belgium and Germany, so you won't get stressed for unnecessary things.
Right. So it's an hour's drive.
It's an hour's drive. Okay.
Yeah.
And here we end up at the time is not with us. So here we end up at the venue, and I'm after all that, I'm like, I'm gonna rest well. I just wanna get into a hot tub, relax. The stress, especially for me, it
Yeah.
was
It's nighttime now.
it's night.
Yeah,
and
it's
we,
night.
And we get into this first world country. Nah. And we sleep in a dungeon. In a dungeon. Like, can you imagine all of that? And like,
Sure.
for the players.
Mm.
And we're hungry. And there's no food.
Mm.
And lights are off and our phones are not charged. We're not connected. Like, it's just too much at this time. So how does a six-pack help you in those situations?
Yes.
Exactly.
How does your physical
Yeah,
condition
how does
help you?
You understand? And then we literally had to add devotion more than what we trained.
Wow.
Come on.
Wow.
I had to get, like, it was so difficult to survive. We eat 3 times a day. Our last meal is at 7 o'clock. How, my friends, like Lester, how Donnie, that eats 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, how are they going to survive with these type of things?
Yeah. Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? No fast food, no gums, no luxuries, nothing. We drank oil water. If you think this I've been prepared for, I've been conditioned for this.
Come on.
I've been conditioned for this. In a first world country. You understand? And so everything was a challenge. It was so difficult. But we managed, like, because our development, our mental development and our coaching and our devotion and the way we put so much and invested so much time into that was what ended up in 5 of those players getting signed.
Yes. In Germany.
But they had to break past that challenge, mental challenge
Wow.
for the first 4 days.
Wow.
Because the first day, they got on the field, they were marvelous.
Mm.
Because now, but if they never had to come through that period, they would have never even gotten to the first day.
Yeah.
Sure.
So can you see how many people fall out? They don't reach their full potential because they're not conditioned for, even if you look at shampoo and conditioning your hair.
Yes. Take us through that.
Shampoo, there's a process before conditioning.
Yeah.
It's washing your hair. It kills all the chemicals. It kills all the sweat, all the products.
Yeah.
Right? And then conditioner comes to tone, for all that thing. So there is a process that precedes conditioning.
Mm.
You understand? So there's a difference between like training and conditioning. Training is training. Conditioning is shaping the person, the player. That's conditioning so he can, play to his full potential.
Yeah.
So you still need to develop something before conditioning the player.
Mm.
You understand? So conditioning is holistic. It's not just that I need to have a six-pack to be a good athlete, or I need to have, even as a singer, Jay, you're a rapper, you know that you can't just rap and rap and rap. You need to condition yourself to all the challenges and everything that happens.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Yeah.
So basically, that's how it ended up. But if there were not holistic development within the philosophy that I use, I don't think we would have ended up in Germany in the first place. Because it would have stopped here if there was no mental strength. It would have stopped the day before the flight.
Yeah. No, nothing to push through.
You have to believe in something. Like
Yes.
it's tough. I'll tell you why. I'll end with this.
Yeah.
So it was always a dream of me. Like, they say coincidence is God's way of staying anonymous, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So a couple of years back in the very same studio, I had a discussion with a friend of mine regarding this very same topic,
Mm.
and my philosophy. And then what happened is I told him I would like to share this one day here at Crystal. And then I come here and I got interviewed, and then the next day I got fired. And I'm like, why did I end up getting fired? Is it Crystal? What's happening? And then this morning, as I prepared myself for this, and then it's like, do you remember that 5 years ago you wanted to always present this at this, and you have your opportunity just to remind me that you're on the right track. So no matter how difficult things get, and no matter how tough things, you always have to look at the positive. So you need to always make sure that you teach players those things. Football is a game of mistakes. It's a game of sport. In fact, it's a game of challenges. Like you're down 1 minute, and then you can be up the very next. So you just have to be mentally strong. As much as you are physically gifted, you need to be mentally strong to manage the ups and downs of this life.
I think that was a mouthful.
Yeah.
Wow, man. I think, thank you so much, Coach Smiley. Give it up for him. Thank you so much. That was excellent. Jay, your closing remarks?
Now, I think, man, I was just sitting back here and just taking in all the inspiration.
Yeah.
I mean, first and foremost, 8 weeks to get all of those things, 2 months. You could have then said, you know what, too soon. It's not gonna work. But just the fact that you said yes to the call, and obviously that does come with a lot of trials, tribulations, and challenges.
Yeah.
But to still push through that is so commendable, and hats off to that.
Conditioning is so important. Mentally, physically, socially, like the coach said. This is our first segment. Next week, we're speaking to a biokineticist as well as a sports psychologist, taking you through all those things. You want to tune in, subscribe to this channel, share the links when we send it out, advertising on social media and so forth. And when you subscribe, you'll get a hit to say that we're on Friday. So subscribe to this channel and then get all those sportsmen that want to go further, that wants to achieve more. Let them listen from the professionals as they talk about your mental capacity, a sports psychologist as well as a biokineticist. And thank you so much for joining us this morning. It's Friday. We're going to have a good time. You have a great weekend. And thank you so much for tuning in. God bless. See you next time.
It's all Gucci.